There we go. Good
Hi,
morning,
everyone.
everybody. Happy Wednesday. Ah, how's everybody doing today?
We are here. Gina says her life has turned upside down and she is starting to iron out and she needs a craft boost. So, Gina, what are
Oh,
you, girl?
there you go. I know you haven't been feeling good, Gina.
Yeah,
So I hope you're doing better. Yeah, having
life.
health issues just
Just
stink.
life.
It just it just stinks. I just don't like it at all. But it is what it is. So, anyways. But we are here today. I am back after being gone. Um, Anne did her live last week.
I did.
You did on creating rice paper.
Yes, I love rice paper.
Yeah. Hi, Isabel. So I am back this week, and don't plan. Well, yeah, I got a little mini thing coming at the end of the month, but that's neither here nor there. I'll
The
still.
end of the month is next week.
I know, right? I know. I couldn't believe it. Never mind. I digress. Squirrel. Okay, so what we are doing today, I am stepping away from paper, well, kinda, um, and stamping, and the stuff that I love to do something different, right? So, I don't really decoupage a lot. It's not one of my favorite things to do, but it's quick, it's easy, it's fun.
It
It
is.
is fun, unless you get the paper on crooked and then you have an issue, and we don't, yeah. Anyways, so let me show you guys what I made. I love this so much. It came out so pretty. Okay, so this is a Dollar Tree tray, okay, that I decoupaged and then added all kinds of pretty stuff and a candle. And I'm afraid to tip it because I don't want it to fall. But there you go. So that's what we are creating today. I absolutely loved it. It's so soft and pretty and away from my usual very loud colors. So this is the other part of me when I'm
Ele-
crafting. The other part of me, yes,
The
because
elegant part.
the elegant part of me is when I do this stuff. And I used to do this a lot. So now I thought, let's step away from, bright colors and stuff, and let's just do something pretty. Especially after my last live. My last live was just, Anna's still laughing about it. I
Mm,
came home. Those of you that were here, hi Isabel, hi Becca. Those of you guys that saw my live 2 weeks ago, you know what happened. It was a complete disaster. I hated it. I came home. I ripped both of the wreaths apart, threw everything away, and said, "I'm done. I'm done. I'm not even going to try to fix this." So, so I decided I'm just going to do something pretty. So that's what we're doing today. Oh, okay. No, it does not take long, Isabel. That is the great part about this. It does not take long to create at all.
which is
Um,
nice.
yeah, it's just gluing and decoupaging. And hi, Helen. And
Hey,
it just it goes together really really quick. So we'll have fun making it. I did some stuff ahead of time, because I didn't want everybody watching me decoupage a whole box. So I did some painting and some of it ahead of time, but
yeah,
yeah, but it's all good. But I absolutely love this. Look how pretty that is.
that's pretty.
It is so pretty. And it reminds me so much of my mom.
It reminds me of Victorian.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It reminds me of my mom because I used her doilies, some of her lace that I have from her
Mm.
stash. And yeah, and this was the kind of stuff that my mom absolutely loved, which is one of the reasons why I did it so much, when I was crafting earlier, is because my mom, it was stuff that she
Early in
liked.
your career.
Huh?
Early in your career.
Early, early.
Said
This was like,
earlier, so it's like way back when we started.
yeah, yeah. This was a while ago. But I used to make beautiful lamps and stuff,
You did.
with tea house themes and things like that. It was just, so much fun. And my mom was like, it's so pretty that what you do, and here's some more lace, and here's some more. Okay.
Thank you, Mom. Well,
Yeah,
because nowadays it's hard to find
it is so hard.
beautiful lace, wonderful fabric. I mean, you have to search a lot. Quilt shops have the best, but
Yeah,
if you won't have one near you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, for me, I went in to Michael's again before this, before I worked on this, because I needed to pick up a couple of things. And again, I was just like, where is the crafting stuff?
Yeah.
There's like no crafting stuff anymore. It's all pre-made. I mean, it's beautiful. I love the stuff. It was all Halloween. I thought I was going to lose my mind, but it's stuff that's already put together, and I just think that that's just not what a craft store is supposed to be. But
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get started. I'm going to switch cameras and I'm going to show you guys how to put this box together. It is so, so pretty. I love it. So we'll be doing that right now.
Okay, well, she's switching cameras. I want to remind you to like, comment, and share hashtag Bella Crafts to enter for this week's giveaway. And we
Okay,
will
there we go.
announce last week's giveaway during my live at 2:00.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so it's hard to show you guys this. This is one of the reasons why I showed it ahead of time, because I'm shooting from above, right? So it's hard for you to see the front of it, the front and all of that on this project. But again, this is what it looks like. I don't have that glued down, so I'm just going to kind of hold it there. But yeah, just, like so much fun. So let's set that aside and we shall get started. Okay, so this is a wood tray that I got at the dollar store. Okay, one of those small little wood trays. This is like 6.5 by 4.5. So it's not garbocious, but it's perfect for a little small home decor item. This project would be beautiful on I envisioned wedding tables for a wedding and stuff. So yeah. But there's so many different things you can do with it, and you don't even have to do it in the style that I did. You can, do something completely different. But this is what we're starting with. So what I did is I took my box here and I painted it with some gold acrylic paint. Okay. Well, first I put the little pegs on the bottom. So these are actually just wood buttons, just so you know. So I adhered these first onto the box, and then I painted the whole thing except for the inside, because you're not going to see any of this. And then I took a sanding, I don't know what you call this. Okay, so it's just sanding paper on a sanding block. There we go. And I just lightly kind of distressed it. Okay, so it just looked a little, distress it to make it look a little bit older. But yeah, so that's how we're going to start. And then from there, we get into the fun stuff. Okay, So what you're going to do is you're going to cut your pattern paper to the size that you want for your box. Okay. So as I said, this box is 6.5 by 4.5. So I went ahead and I just did a 1/4 inch down because I wanted a border so the gold paint would show through. So we're going to start with doing this. And again, I'm just using some Mod Podge. So we're going to open this up. And boy, do I make a mess when I work with this stuff. All right. I'm going to give it a really quick stir just because I want to make sure that everything is going to adhere to it the way I want it to. And you want to keep a lot of paper towels and that on hand. Well, if you're me, you do, because I make a mess when I'm crafty. So anyways, all right. So what we're going to do is I like to do my decoupage in portions. So we're going to start out and you're going to cut all of your paper for all of your sides. Now I've already done these and I'll explain what I did with the sides, but I've already done these ahead of time so you don't have to watch me, decoupage everything. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to add just a little bit right here to get started. And then I'm going to put my paper down, make sure it's exactly where I want it. And this is the reason why I like to do it in sections, especially if you're, decoupaging with paper, because you want to make sure that you can get it on straight before you go any further. Okay, so I'm going to start just by that. And then we're going to finish this off just by adding the decoupage to the rest of the side here. And even though I have that border around, I still am going to use my medium on the whole box. Okay, so this is one-sided paper and it's rarely thin, which is what I recommend if you're not using tissue paper or other items to decoupage with. The lighter papers work better, at least for me. Okay, so once I have that on there really good, then I'm going to go and I'm going to lay letters on top, or layers, I should say. And I'm just going to lay it all down. There we go. Got some on the sides there. Okay. So you're going to attach it just like that. And then let it dry for, about 10 minutes or so. And then add a second coat on top. And then that way you'll seal your whole box. Okay, so let me put this back on. I'm going to put my lid back on here. And I always like, when I do decoupage, when I'm done, I like cleaning off the top of my container, just for the simple fact that it makes it so much easier to open it the next time you use it. All right, so we're going to put the Mod Podge away. So as I said, you're going to let that dry for about 10 minutes and then add another layer, let that dry. Does not take long, and then you're ready to do all the extras. Okay, now for the sides here, what I did for the sides, I did the same exact thing. I laid the paper completely across the whole side section, And then I took a straight edge X-Acto knife and I just cut it and then folded the folded to the inside, the paper to the inside, and then I trimmed it a little bit on this side. You don't really have to do that because you're not going to see it anyways, but I like to have nice edges. All right, so we've got that done. So now we're ready to put all of this together. And this is going to be interesting doing this when it's still a little bit tacky, but it is doable and we are going to do it. Okay, so we're going to start off first with some floral foam. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in here just to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm going to add my foam right inside here. Okay, and then from there, so you'll see how easy this goes together, Isabel. It's pretty quick. All right, so now we're going to take some moss. And this stuff is so messy. So I'm going to take some moss. And this is a step that you don't have to do if you don't want to. Originally, I was planning on putting the florals in the moss and all of that. And then as I started working, it changed my mind. I didn't want to do it that way. But I had already had the moss and stuff. So I just went ahead and left it. If you don't want to do this, you can fill this with anything. You can fill it with little marbles or any of the glass beads and stuff that are out. Some of these fun things that I did use, but you could use that to fill it up. It just depends. But see, I had already started with this, and I decided, well, I don't want to rip it all apart and then start again. So I just went ahead and decided to do it this way. All right. So I want to make sure that I get all of that in there nice. There we go. And then I'm going to put this excess, we're going to put this up. This is definitely a little bit of a messy craft. Not too much, but a little bit. All right. So now we have all of our stuff in there. So now we're ready to decorate. So what we're going to do first is adhere the corners, the middle corners. Now these are things that I have had for, I can't tell you how long. It's been a while. But this is what it's from. So this is Tim Holtz, and these are corners that he did for, I think, Ranger. I'm not sure, but this is what I used on my project. So what we're going to do now is take these and we're going to add a little bit of glue. And see, this is already almost completely dry. That's how quick it goes, which is nice. So we're going to add a little bit of glue here on our corners because we want to make sure that they're not going to pop off. Okay, so you're just going to add these right on the edges of all four corners. Okay, there we go. So we've got the front, and we'll do the back too. And you want to make sure when you're doing this, you need to make sure, because this is what I did. I did a boo-boo, so I'm going to show you how I fixed that boo-boo. But I put my legs on first, and these metal corners are wider than the room that I had, right? And I had already had these glued on. So what I did is I just took some scissors because this is, it's thin metal. It's not really difficult. And then I just trimmed that off. So you can kind of see the difference in the width from the side to the bottom. And that was because I put my feet on first before I put my corners. So if you catch yourself doing that, then no worries. Just take some scissors and just snip that right off, and it works fine. So there's a craft boo boo that I share with you guys. All right. So now we have all four of those on. And that to me just gives it a little bit more, it, I don't know, a little more classy, I think. It's just a pretty, with the paper and everything, it's just a really pretty craft. Okay, so now we got all of our flowers here. So what I'm going to do first, though, is I added some trim, or some lace, I should say, lace trim, to my sides here. I didn't want to go all the way around my box because then that would just cover the whole design if I did it that way. So what I did is I just did my sides here. So I'm going to take my scissors. What did I do with my scissors? All right. I'm on a scissor hunt. Don't you love when something is right there on your desk and then it's gone? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. So again, this is some vintage lace that my mom had. I have a big, huge cart with like a, I think it's a 7 drawer rolly cart, and it's full of laces and trims and doilies and all kinds of pretties. So what I did there is I just cut the piece in half because it was a long piece of lace, and then I just trimmed off the little extras on the side there. So I'm going to take this, and it was easiest for me to start right here in the middle. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue there. And then add my lace. Then I can go, once that's on, then I can go and just run a little line of glue on either side. There. Okay, make sure that's on there good. And then I'm going to do the same for this side. And glue that one on. Okay, there we go. And then also, because I use the moss, by adding this, it kind of covers up this part. So normally you want to add some more stuff down there because you don't want the foam to show. But this way it just kind of covers the whole area. Okay, this is the right side. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Add a little bit of glue. And then add that right to the center there. And then just glue these across. So super easy. This is, you know, a really easy project to do. And it really doesn't take much time once you decide, you know, what you want to do, how you want to use the box, what product you want to use, and you know, after you figure out all of that, then it is easy. Okay, so we're going to add that lace there on the sides, and as I said, I only did it on the sides only. Okay, so next we're going to take our little candle holder here. This is also a dollar store find. Actually, almost everything that I used in this project came from the dollar store, which I rarely even go to the dollar store, so I was kind of happy that I went in there and found these treasures. Everybody kept talking about it, but I'd never been. So this is another piece of lace trim. Now this is not vintage. This is just some beautiful lace that I got at Hobby Lobby a few years ago, and it is like one of my favorite laces because it is just so gorgeous. So what we're going to do now is, well, first I'm going to cut these sides off a little cleaner. There we go. And then we're going to start by running a little piece of glue up at the top here. And add this. And then you're going to do that all the way around. And because this is glass and you're using a glue gun with it, you want to make sure that you really, really push down on your lace to get that seal. Because a lot of times when you're using glue gun on glass, it can peel off pretty easy. So you just want to make sure, this is the part where you want to take a little bit more time, and you want to make sure that you really adhere that lace to the top of this candle cup. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to do this all the way around. So while we're working on this, I was going to do a poll, and I just thought, you know what? I'll just ask you guys. I might still do a poll anyways, but what kind of crafts, if you would be kind enough to let us know, what kind of crafts would you like to see? Would you like to see us do? Do you want us to do more foiling? Do you want us to do more paper? Do you want us to do more resin, or, you know, other products? Let us know in the comment section. Just put something down there, what you guys would like to see. And then that way, that kind of helps Anna and I figure out what we want to do for each live. Okay. So now that's on. Isn't that beautiful? You could use this just like this with the candle. I mean, the lace does it all for me anyways. All right. So next up, we're going to lay our doily down. Now, I did not adhere this to the grass inside, just because I just didn't want to. So I didn't, but I did add a tad bit of glue right here in the front, just to kind of keep it in place, but not to where I'm going to glue the whole thing down. So, and this is going to sit, let me see, where's my back? This is going to sit right here. So I want to make sure that it's all covered. Okay, good. All right. Now we're just going to put our flowers together. So this is super easy. Nothing hard about any of this. We're just going to take some flowers here. I'm going to cut off some of this excess that doesn't need to be on here. There we go. Add some flowers, and then where is my, here's my other one. And I think there we go. All right. So what you want to do with this is once you decide what flowers you want to use, etc., then to put them together, we're just going to wrap a little bit of wire around them. And also by using the doily, this kind of helps hide the stems and stuff too, because I'm not sticking them directly in. So this helps to hide all of the stuff that you don't want to be seen. All right. I think I'm going to add another one of these because I just think these are just so pretty. All right, so we're going to turn these around, make sure everything's going in the right direction. And what you can do from here, if you want, you can add a little bit of glue here just to kind of hold things together long enough for you to wire it. You just want to glue them all together because, as I said, you're not going to see this. So we're going to add some glue here. And that just makes it easier to work with. So as you're putting the wire on, your flowers aren't falling all over the place. All right. So now I'm going to squish that glue on there good. Oh, missed one. Okay. Now, and then just take your wire, and then you're just going to wrap this around, and then that will hold all of your stuff in place. Ouch. Try not to stab yourself with the wire. Okay, so see, you're just going to, now again, just wrap that around. And then you can come back in if you want and trim off some of this extra stuff at the bottom. Totally up to you. But it does make it easier so it's not as bulky. All right, so we've got our one set of flowers there. And then now we're going to do this second one. And then I added this one. I'm going to add that one right there. You know, maybe to the side a little. We'll see. Okay. So again, we're just going to take some wire, a little piece. Okay. Let me see. Do I want to? Yeah. Okay, that looks pretty. All right, so this time I'm not going to glue. I'm just going to wrap. Ooh, I did cut myself. Oops. Oh, geez. Nothing like getting blood all over your project, right? Oh, my goodness. All right, so we've got those wrapped up nice and pretty. And then from here, you're just going to put it all together. So you can lay your candle holder up here. We're going to turn our candle on. There we go. And then from here, you're just going to add your flowers. Okay. So you're going to tuck them in. And then, as I said, you can cover the stems up a little bit with the doily, or you can go ahead and tuck them in under the moss. Either way will work. And then we're going to do the same for this side. But this side we're definitely going to hide because we have, yeah, okay. Because we do have that big bulky end from all of the flowers. So I am going to just tuck that in just a little bit. Okay. And then from here, I added some pearls, and I didn't have any extra pearls, so I used what I had in my project. But from here, I just added some extra pearls, and then I took some of these pretty crystals, and I just kind of laid them around just to kind of give it a little bit more bling and a little bit more pretty. So let me show you the finished one again so you can see what I mean about the lace. And again, I did not glue these down either. I just left them go. And then I added the lace here in the front. I mean, not the lace, the beading. Just a little bit of pearly stuff right there. And there you go. And you have this really, really pretty, yeah, home decor project. This would be beautiful in a bathroom, I think. So, all right, there we go. See? Quick and easy. All right. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Quick and easy is always good because you can craft, get it done, and have a beautiful project. So
yeah, which is not usually what happens with me. So it usually takes me some time because I got to decide on this, and then oh, does this look prettier? You go back and forth, and yeah.
Yes, Gina, I love that idea. With an antique cup and saucer, fill the spoon in with tea bags or candies. I love it.
Yes. Actually, I did a project similar to that, Gina, what you're saying, years ago, where I added, instead of the candle holder, I added a teacup, tea tray, the plate, and then I decorated the spoon, and it was really beautiful. And I put the candle inside the teacup. So yeah, that one was pretty. And then I just put it on like a wood tray.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came out. Yeah, it just came out so beautiful. I just thought this was just something different from me as far as what I normally do. So, stepping out of the comfort zone, which this is not hard at all, but
comfort zone. I think you just do everything. So, I mean,
yeah. I do, but I am definitely more comfortable when I'm just playing with paper.
I know.
When I get into the home, I do love doing home decor, but I like the home decor to be something to do with stamping and paper. So, but this is actually how I started out on my venture into the crafting world. I started out doing this stuff for my mom's boutiques and sold, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many lamps I have sold.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I did.
Craft shows were good.
Yeah. I did one for my mom one year and what I mean by these projects that I'm talking about, I took a piece of wood and added some feet to the bottom, like I did with the tray, and then I put it on, the wood base, and then I covered the wood base. And for the one I did with my mom, I drill a hole in it, and then you put a long tube for your lighting to go through, your wiring, because I wired my own lamps. I did all of it. And what I did for her is I took some of her antique stuff from her great-grandfather, which was a glass case, a pair of his glasses, and there was a couple other things on there, of my mom's grandfather, great-grandfather, either way. And then I did a little something for my mom's dad. So yeah, I put it on there, and it just came out so beautiful. My mom bawled her eyes out when she saw it.
As moms do.
Yeah, exactly. And then I found stamps and lost my mind. And I'm like, this is my niche, man. This is what I do. And that's how the Stamping Queen came about. But a little something different, a little bit fun and easy. Really
yeah,
easy.
Easy's good.
Easy's good. Yeah. So that is it for me. We're going to come back in about an hour and 15 minutes because Anne is going to do her project.
And mine is quicker than Lisa's. Mine is so quick. I thought, oh no, this is way too quick. But I love glitter.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to make some glitter pens, and they're easy and they're not messy. And yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's fun,
and then
though.
We'll also announce last week's winner during my live.
Yes.
So make sure you like, comment, and share this video to enter for next week's giveaway.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I think that was everything. If you guys remembered, put in the comments some of the stuff that you guys would like to see us work with.
You can message us too. If you want.
Or message us. Either way is, we're good. Either way. A lot of you message me privately, so feel free to do that too. But yeah, we'll be back here in a little over an hour for glitter pens.
Yeah.
I love glitter. All right, you guys. So until then, make sure that you take a little time to craft.
Because it's good for your soul. And we all know that's true.
Yeah.